Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You guys ready to start doing some yoga?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just. Thanks for coming. We'll start as usual, an easy seat, Sukhasana. Close your eyes, lengthen the spine, and rest one hand in the chest, and the other hand can come to rest on the belly. Become aware of your breathing without controlling the breath. Let your breath flow naturally. Just notice how the inhalation causes the lift of the chest and the fall of the chest. So just feeling it inflate and deflate beneath your hand. And the same with the belly. You'll feel the belly inflate with the inhalation and deflate as the breath escapes out through the nostrils. Lower your hands down to the knees. Your palms are turned down. Inhale, use your exhalation to open your eyes and then hinge forward from the hips. You're going to walk your hands out and let your head hang. And if it's comfortable, your forehead can rest on the floor as well. Use your inhalation to lift the head, lift the chest, and we'll sit up nice and tall. Take a lateral flexion with the right arm reaching overhead and gazing upward to the ceiling. Inhale, center, exhale. We're going to twist to the right. So your left hand goes to the outside of the right knee. Using your Ujjayi breath, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist from the waist. Push off the back hand and come to your center. Take your left arm overhead, look upward. Inhale to center and exhale as you twist to the left. Each inhalation, lengthen the spine. Each exhalation, twist from the waist. Let's push away with our back hand and return to center. We're going to bring the other leg in front now. Close your eyes with me. Place the fingertips on the floor behind you. Make sure your fingertips stay turned away from the hips and your shoulders are rolled back. Feel free to push your palms to the floor or walk the hands closer together. This is your chest opener, and we're going to take full advantage of it by using our Ujjayi breath. With the Ujjayi breath, we breathe slowly and deeply in and out through the nose, using long inhalations through the nose and even longer exhalations out through the nostrils. And you squeeze the air down the windpipe to create a hissing or humming sound, maybe like a sigh, the sound of the ocean. And that sound, I don't know if you could hear it, but that sound is the Ujjayi breath. And it's just your slowly sipping the air down your windpipe. Finish your next exhalation, then open the eyes and reach your arms off to the sides. Slide your right hand out first and stretch your left arm overhead. Look upward to the ceiling. If you want to move deeper into the pose today, you can put a bend in your right elbow like I'm doing now, or you can release your right elbow all the way to the floor. Otherwise, keep the arms straight, that's fine too. Make sure your sit bones are glued to the ground. That means your left sit bone, you want to push it further into the floor. And then pushing off the bottom hand, we'll take it to the other side. Left hand slides out, right arm stretches overhead. Turn your chest up to the ceiling, look up to the right. Same options for the arms. Straight left arm, bent left elbow, or left elbow on the floor. Right sit bone being pushed down into the ground. Inhale, center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Feel free to close the eyes. Focus on your Ujjayi breath. Each inhalation, take your arms up, and each exhalation, lower the hands in front of heart center. Remember, you're controlling the breath, breathing slowly and deeply in and out through the nose, sipping the air and down the windpipe, just squeezing it. Just create a hissing or humming sound. Your Ujjayi breath is a very important part of this practice. With the majority of the yoga poses, we're continuing to control the breath and use Ujjayi breath. So this is your last time around, and when the exhalation's finished and the hands are in front of heart center, release them to the knees so your palms are turned down. Inhale, exhale, open your eyes, hinge forward from the hips. You can walk your hands out and let your head hang. Next inhalation, we're going to lift our head and chest and walk the hands in. Sitting tall, once again, we'll come onto all fours. We're going to start off with a spinal balance. Place the wrists under the shoulders, stretch back through the right leg and push into the ball of the right foot. Inhale, bring the right heel in line with the hip and extend your left arm out in front. If you want to move further into the pose, bend the right knee and hold on to the ankle with your left hand. Exhale, lower the hands and knee to the floor. We're going to reach back through the left leg and push into the ball of the foot. Inhale as the heel comes in line with the hip and your right arm reaches out in front. Option to bend the left knee and hold on to the left ankle with your right hand. Continuing to use the Ujjayi breath. This breath acts as a point of focus and it helps keep the heat in the body. Next exhalation, hand and knee can come back to the floor and we'll go into Balasana, which is child's pose. Sit bones are resting on the heels. Arms are out in front with the forehead on the floor, unless you prefer to stack one fist on top of the other to rest the forehead on. That would be a modification. As you inhale, lift your head and chest, come to all fours. Separate your knees hip-width apart. We'll go into our first downward facing dog of the class, also known as Adho Mukha Savasana. Curl the toes under, lift your hips, press the heels to the floor. Press the chest to the knees. Continue to use Ujjayi, victorious breath. Bending the knees, looking in between the thumbs, walk or step your feet forward. We'll bend our knees, protecting the lower back. Inhale, raise your arms up and bring your palms together. Lift the chest. Exhale for upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, we're coming into what's called Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking outward. Exhale, fold in half. Bend the knees and place the palms on the floor. Let's step back to a plank position. Remember, the modification for plank is knees and tops of the feet on the floor, or you can stay here with me with the knees off the ground. Exhale to chaturanga. Point the elbows to the hips, lower the chest. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. This is your upward facing dog. Exhale, we'll bend our elbows, push off the ground, curling the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And you might be able to hear that I'm still using my Ujjayi breath. Let's bend our knees, look in between the thumbs, and walk or step the feet forward. Bend both knees. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest, and exhale to Urdhva Hastasana. Your chin is lifted, gaze is to the thumbs. Being careful not to press the hips forward. Inhale, center. Exhale, standing forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine for the half standing forward bend, looking out in front. And then exhale, fold in half. Let's bend both knees as we bring our palms onto the ground and step into plank. Exhale to Chaturanga, turn the elbows to the hips, lower the chest. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. And let's bend our elbows, lower the chest, just a little baby push-up as you curl the toes under, lifting the hips, and you're back in Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. We're gonna go into a warrior one from here. So it's not a runner's lunge, it's a warrior one. You're gonna turn your left heel in towards the right foot. Step or place your right foot in between the hands. My left foot is angled in slightly and it's completely on the ground. Inhale, arms up, bring the palms together. If you want to modify it, you can have the hands in front of heart center. Chin lifted, gazes to the thumbs is the next option. And of course, if it throws you off balance, no worries, just look straight ahead. Moving to warrior two. You're going to reach back with the left arm and forward with your right. Hands at the same height. You can always check back to make sure they're both level with your shoulders. And then back to warrior one. Swing your left arm forward. Your hips are turned to face the shortest edge of the mat again. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, step to plank. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to flow from warrior one to warrior two again. Turn your right heel in towards the arch of the left foot. You can step or place your left foot with your hands at the front edge of the mat and then reach the arms overhead. So make sure that the back foot has a slight turnout here and that the outside edge of the back right foot is pushed into the ground. Right now, our hips are parallel with the short edge of the mat. And as you transition to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, your right arm reaches back, left arm forward. Keep your shoulders stacked over the hips. Warrior 1, swing the right arm forward, palms touch, unless of course you have your hands in front of heart center. Your right hip is turning towards the left knee. Inhale, exhale, fold forward, stepping back to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And we'll exhale to a downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs. Block or step your feet forward. Bend both knees. Inhale, arms come up, lift the chest and exhale for Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. We're going to do one final sun salutation or Surya Namaskar. On the inhalation, lengthen the spine, looking out in front for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in half. Bend the knees and bring your palms to the ground. Step to plank. Looking out in front, exhale to chaturanga. Squeeze the upper arms to the sides of the torso. Inhale, lift the heart and chest, looking up. And we're going to exhale to downward facing dog. One more breath, then bend the knees, look in between the thumbs, and walk or step your feet forward. Bending your knees, inhale the arms up, lift the chest, and exhale as you go to an upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, we're coming into what's called chair pose next. Utkatasana, standing up the front edge of the mat, toes, ankles touching, squeezing the inner thighs together. Exhale, drop the seat. We're going to do triangle pose next. Right foot stays in front, step back to the left. Reach your arms out. Press your left hip over so the right side of the body is in line with the front knee. We're going to have the option now of taking the raised arm behind the back, in which case your left hand would hold on to the right inner thigh. Let's release our arm, turn the head down to the floor. We're going to go to Parsvottanasana next. You can either keep this really wide base if you have a good range of motion today, or you can shorten the base by bending the front knee and stepping the back left foot forward. Option to hold on to the leg, use a block if you have it, or place the fingertips or palms on the ground. Keep using the Ujjayi breath. Remember that front right leg is straight. Your left hip is turned towards your right knee. And as you bend the front right knee, step the back foot forward. Bend both knees. Inhale. Take your arms up, lift the chest, and exhale for Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center, and exhale as you go to chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, drop the seat. Pull your navel in and up, slight tuck to the tailbone here. And transition to triangle pose, Trikonasana. Your left foot stays in front this time, and you can step back onto your right foot. Straighten the front leg, reach the arms out, relax your shoulders, and then pressing the right hip back, left side of the body comes in line with the left knee. You can keep the arm extended in the air or bind the raised arm behind the back. And this time, it would be your right hand that's reaching for the left inner thigh. Release the arm, turn the hips down to the floor. Option to shorten the base, bending the front knee and stepping the back foot forward. Keep the front left leg straight. Your choice if you prefer to hold onto the leg, the ankle, fingertips, palms on the floor, or a block to place the hands on. Bend the front knee, step the back foot forward. Bend both knees. Inhale, raise your arms up, lift the chest, and exhale to upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, lowering yourself to your chair pose, Utkatasana. Drop the seat. Warrior two. So we're going to do another warrior two. Your right foot's in front. Step back to the left. Reach the arms out. From here, transition to extended side angle, Utthita Parsvakonasana. Rest your right forearm lightly on the side or the top of the right thigh. Don't let your weight rest on it like that. So it's just here for balance. This right arm, left arm is extended in the air, upper arm alongside the ear. Back to warrior two. Release the arms, straighten the front leg, turn the hips forward, and do the big step into mountain or Tadasana. Palms opened outwards. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest. Exhale to Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale as you drop into chair, Utkatasana. Pull your navel in and up. Slight tuck to the tailbone again. And exhale as you drop the seat. Let's do another warrior two. Your left foot stays in front. You can step back onto the right. Reach your arms out. Continue to pull your right thigh out to the right side. Get this right knee in line with the second toe of the right foot. Utthita Parsvakonasana on the left side. Your left forearm rests lightly on the front thigh. Right arm extending out, sending lines of energy out through the fingertips of the right hand. Your gaze is upward to the ceiling. So keep opening your chest up to the ceiling. And then we'll come into warrior two again. And you can straighten the front leg, step to Tadasana, mountain pose with the palms opened outward. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest. And exhale as you go to Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Lower your hands, turn your palms outward. And we'll move to Vrksasana, tree pose next. Closing the eyes, push the hands together in front of your heart center. Stand tall and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the toes up, spread your toes wide into the mat. Press the four corners of your foot to the floor. Both sides of the ball of the foot and both sides of the heel of the foot are rooted into the ground. Inhale, exhale, open the eyes, stare at a fixed point, and start with your right foot. It's up to you if you prefer to rest it on the ankle, this side of the calf, or inner thigh. Turn your right heel forward to help with this external rotation here of your right hip, so your right knee goes out to the side. Inhale, arms overhead, or keep them in front of heart center if you prefer. Exhale, hands in front of your heart center. We'll bring our knee to the midline and step into mountain Tadasana. Your palms are opened outwards, your shoulders are relaxed. Closing the eyes again. Press the hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of heart center. Lengthen the spine. Slide the shoulder blades down and back. Lift up all the toes, spread them out into the mat. And again, push the four corners of the foot to the floor, both sides of the ball of the foot, and both sides of the heel of the foot are rooted into the ground. Inhale, exhale, open the eyes and stare at a fixed point. Let's begin with the left foot. You can rest it on the ankle, side of calf, or inner thigh. Turn your knee out to the side. Option to reach the arms overhead. And if you become really comfortable in this posture, please make sure you're using your Ujjayi breath. That can be a point of focus if you're no longer concentrated on maintaining your balance. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Bring the knee back to your midline and you can return to a mountain pose. Shoulders relaxed. Your palms are opened outward for an opening through the chest. Good. So we're going to do Ardha Chandrasana next, which is our half moon pose. So if you're doing half moon pose and you like to use a block, go ahead and get that. If you want to use a wall behind your back to support you, you can do that too. Separate your feet about one leg's distance apart. Turn to your right, and the right foot is parallel to the wide edges of the mat. Your block is slightly forward into the side of the right foot. You're going to pick up the left foot and extend the left arm up into the sky. Right? So the left hand is over your shoulder, and make sure that the left palm is turned away from your face. Kind of like you're going to give someone a high five. Coming out of the pose, release the raised arm to the floor. Bend the right knee, drop the back foot to the floor, and stand up. Pivot the feet to the opposite side. If you use the block, this time it goes to the outside of the left foot and slightly ahead. Okay, and if you have the wall, of course, you're going to press your shoulder blades and hips evenly into the wall behind you. So bending the front left knee, we'll pick up our right hand directly over the right shoulder. Shoulders and hips are now stacked on top of each other. Let's release the pose, bring the hand to the floor, bend the front knee, drop the back foot onto the mat and stand tall. Heel toe your feet together and step into mountain pose, Tadasana. Your palms are turned outwards again. You can take a few Ujjayi breaths here. Okay, with the eyes open, step forward to the short edge of the mat in front. Place the hands on the hips, roll your shoulders back. As you exhale, hinge forward from the hips, coming to Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking out in front. Exhale, fold in half. Bend the knees, bring your palms onto the floor. Step to a plank. Modify the plank. Your knees and tops of the feet are on the ground. Drop the sit bones onto the heels. Rest in child's pose. We'll come to all fours. Separate the knees hip width apart. Go to modified plank by bringing the hips forward, shoulders over the wrists. And exhale as you point the elbows to the hips, lower the chest, and then the belly to the floor. Legs come together, place the elbows underneath the shoulders. And if you do want to come out of this posture because you're experiencing pain in your back, the option is to separate the legs to form a letter V, rest the ankles on the floor, and turn the elbows out to the sides. One hand placed on top of the other to rest your forehead on your hands. So that posture is crocodile pose, Makrasana. But if you're not experiencing pain in the lower back, then you can do this posture. It's called Sphinx pose, also known as Ardha Bhujangasana or half cobra pose. Chest is lifted. If you'd like to move deeper into this posture, go to Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana, by pressing the hands into the floor, long arms, chest lifted. Drishti or gaze is upward to the ceiling. Keep using your Ujjayi breath. As you exhale, return the elbows to the floor, and then turn your elbows out to the sides, coming to the cross and place one hand on top of the other. Separate your legs, ankles on the floor so the legs are forming a letter V. Rest your forehead on your hands. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Bring your legs together, and you're going to take the arms alongside the torso. Turn your cheek to one side. We're just going to stretch out both sides of the neck. Turn your cheek to the opposite side. Come onto your chin. Bring your legs together. And we're going to go into what's called locust pose, or Salambhasan. We'll start with a half locust pose, Ardha Salambhasan. With your right leg, don't pick it up off the mat quite yet, but try and extend it further down the mat, like it's going to grow a little bit longer than the left leg. As you inhale, lift your right leg up off the mat. Inhale, lift the right leg higher. And exhale, right leg back onto the mat. So there are a lot of variations of Salambhasan. That's just one of variation of the locust pose. In this case, it was half locust pose. For our half locust pose, on the left side, you're back on the chin again. And your left leg, you're going to inch it a little further down the mat. Use your inhalation to lift the left leg up off the floor. And you're still continuing to control your breath here using Ujjayi breath. It might seem a little bit different here since you're resting on your diaphragm, but please be sure and breathe. And exhale, lower your leg to the floor. We're going to turn our cheek to one side again. Turn your cheek to the opposite side. Okay, we're going to go into bow pose next, or Dhanurasana. If you have a strap, you can use this to hold onto the feet. And it's just if you find it difficult to hold onto the feet. So you'll see what I mean here. As you bend the knees, you can hold onto the tops of the feet. If it's not comfortable for you to hold onto the tops of the feet, then place a strap around the tops of the feet to use an extension of the arms. We're going to start off on our chin. Press the feet into the hands. Lift the chin and chest up off the floor. Continuing with your Ujjayi breath. And exhale, lower your knees, lower your feet and hands to the floor, and turn your cheek to one side once more. Turn your cheek to the opposite side. Come onto the chin. Place the hands under the shoulders, push to all fours, drop your sit bone to the heels, rest in child's pose. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, and come to all fours. Let's go into a bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet are pushed together. You can hold on to the ankles or the toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Keep your chest lifted. And our intention is to rest the belly button onto the tops of the toes. So don't worry about getting your head to your feet or the floor right now. Just first get the belly button onto the toes. And as you can see, mine is not there today either, so that's just the intention. Inhale as you lengthen through the spine. Think about creating space between each of the vertebrae. And exhale as you hinge forward from the hips. Inhale back to center. You're going to take your right heel to the right corner edge of the mat and press the left foot up against the right inner thigh. Flex your right foot. Turn your hips to face the right foot. You can use a strap here if you want, but we'll all start by reaching our fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. If you don't have a strap and you can't comfortably hold on to the foot, you could hold on to the lower leg, the ankle. Otherwise, feel free to hold on to the back of your right foot. Each inhalation, lengthen the spine, and each exhalation, hinge from the hips. And now we'll do Parikrma Janusirsasana, which is just a revolving head to knee pose. You're going to take if you're using the strap, you're just going to hold it with the right hand. Otherwise, you can hold on to the right heel with the right hand or use the first two fingers, index and middle finger, slide in between the big and second toe and lock with the thumb. Raise your left arm overhead and your left hand reaches for the right foot. Keep turning your chest upward to the ceiling. You're looking up. Inhale, come to center. We're going to do a little twist to the left. Right hand outside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twisting from the waist. Pushing away from the back hand. You can come to center and switch legs. So this time the right foot, the bottom of the right foot is pressed up against the left inner thigh, and your left foot is flexed. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling to get length in the spine. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. If you are using a strap, the strap goes around the ball of the foot, so you're not pulling on the arch of the foot. Chest is lifted. So even though Janusirsasana translates into head to knee pose, we're really at this point in time not concerned about getting our head onto our knee. We want to more think about getting the belly button to the top of the leg, then the chest onto the leg. And then if your chest is comfortably resting on the leg, go ahead and rest the forehead on top of the leg too. Transitioning to revolving head to knee pose or Parikrma Janusirsasana. The same thing, you can hold onto the strap with just the left hand. You can reach for the left heel with the left hand, or you can make a lock around the big toe with the index and middle finger, locking with the thumb, right arm stretching overhead. Your gaze or drishti is upward to the right. Your chest is rotating upward to the ceiling. Inhale, come to center, and we'll do that nice twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist from the waist. And we'll come back to center. So we're going to do a seated wide angle forward bend. You can always sit on a block or even a blanket to lift your hips higher to make it easier to sit straight. It's up to you. If you're comfortable on the ground, that's fine too. Keep your feet flexed. This is going to help protect your ankle and your knee joints. And start to walk the hands forward. Maybe you're only here today, that's fine. But feel free to go as far into the posture as you want. Inhale, lengthen the spine. If you'd like, you can use the exhalations to soften the elbows towards the floor. Chest is lifted. Inhale, back to center. Lock your hands and sit tall. And we're going to go back to downed angle pose, Baddha Konasana. So your knees are bent again. And the bottoms of the feet are pushed up against each other, holding on to the ankles or the toes. I invite you to close your eyes and continue to use the Ujjayi breath. Each inhalation, lengthening the spine with a length maintained in the spine. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Inhale back to your center. Bring your knees together. Slide one leg out in front, then the other. Roll your legs in and out from the hips, and then let them rest. All right, so with the heels at the short edge of the mat in front of you, starting off in your staff pose Dandasana, slide the fingertips to the knees, gaze down at your navel to roll to the elbows, the shoulder blades, and then let the head rest on the floor. Walk your heels to the sit bones with both feet flat on the ground. Lower the small of the back to the floor. Press the bottoms of the feet up against each other and drop your knees out to opposite sides. So this is your reclining bound ankle pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. The arms are way from the sides of the torso and the palms are turned upward to the ceiling. And if you haven't had a chance to do it, I invite you to just close your eyes here. Let your breath flow naturally as you rest in this restorative yoga posture known as reclining bound ankle pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. With the eyes open once more, bring your knees together, feet flat on the floor, lower the small of the back onto the floor and take the arms alongside your torso again. The palms are turned down. We'll slide our arms out to the sides with the hands in line with the shoulders. Inhale the knees to the chest and exhale, drop the knees to the right. Turn your head as you look towards your left hand. Bring your head to center. Inhale, knees to the chest. Exhale, lower knees to the left. Turn your head, look towards your right hand. So we are using the Ujjayi breath again here. And in the reclining twist pose, the right shoulder blade, at this point, you're dropping it further to the ground. We're trying to get both shoulder blades flush with the floor. In this case, with your body twisted, your upper torso twisted to the right, you want to try and bring the right shoulder blade back down to the ground. Bring your head to center. Inhale as you pull the knees to the chest and hug the shins. And we'll move to a Upasana, rolling forward and back, side to side. Your choice if you'd like to lift up the head and shoulders, rolling over the lower back, gently massaging the kidneys. And then come to your center. Return your shoulders, head to the floor, release your hands, and lower the feet to the ground. We'll move to guided relaxation next, and I hope you can stay with me for it. If you can, I invite you to turn off your lights. Maybe place a blanket over yourself to keep the heat in the body, or just add socks. If you have an eye pillow, it would be great to put it over your eyes now. And I'll meet you in Shavasana. So for Shavasana or corpse pose, the legs are extended out in front and separated to form a letter V. That means your heels are at the opposite corner edges of the mat, and the arms are slightly away from the sides of the torso with the palms turned upward to the ceiling. And of course, the eyes are closed here. During guided relaxation, please stay comfortably reclined on your back. If you want additional support in your lower back, you could always bend one knee or both knees down, one foot or both feet on the floor. At this point, I'm going to have you take a slow inhalation through the nose with a longer exhalation out through the nostrils. Let your awareness flow down to the toes. Wiggle your toes. Rest the feet again. Move the focus to the hands. Wiggle your fingers. Open wide to the palms. Stretch all the way out through your fingertips. Curl the fingers in. Make a gentle fist. Squeeze it a few times. And release, letting the hands open again. Being aware perhaps of a natural curl to the fingers with the hands at rest. Return your focus back down to the feet. Visualize a healing energy. The energy can take any shape that you'd like. Invite this healing energy to flow into the big toe. And just notice your big toe, this very small part of the body. Move the energy to the second toe, just becoming aware of the second toe. And at your own pace, let the energy flow to the next toe and the next, until eventually it reaches the smallest toe. Notice the spaces in between each of the toes. Let the healing energy slide down the backs of the toes till it wash through the soles of the feet. Allow the healing energy to massage the bottoms of the feet, rubbing away any fatigue, any cramping that might exist in the foot. Let the energy rise through the tops of the feet into the ankles. Feel the healing energy as it swirls around the outsides of the ankles. Let the energy rise up the fronts of the lower legs. Feel it gently wrap around the sides of the lower legs and flow into the calf muscles and the backs of the lower legs. Guide the healing energy higher, feeling it rise upward to the knees. Then let it flow higher into the fronts of the thighs. As this healing energy travels through the quadriceps, the large muscle group in the fronts of the thighs, consciously relax the quads. Feel them release and let go. Move the healing energy around the sides of your thighs. Let it flow into the hamstrings and the backs of the thighs. As this healing energy moves through your hamstrings, allow any tension or emotions that may have collected in the hamstrings to ease away. Guide the energy upward to the hips. Feel the healing energy as it swirls around the outsides of the hips. Allow your hips to unwind. Move this energy upward into the abdominal cavity. Soften the belly. Allow the energy to rise upward to the center of the chest. Once this healing energy has reached the center of the chest, let it spread out across your chest like a warm and pleasant sensation, reaching all the way out to the sides of the rib cage. Feel your chest begin to untighten. Move the energy upward to the tops of the shoulders. Relax your shoulders towards the floor, feeling the support of the ground beneath you. Let the healing energy flow upward into each side of the neck. Become aware of the bands located along both sides of the neck. Allow any tension, any stress in the sides of the neck to melt away. Start to soften the throat. Relax the jawline. As you release the jaw, Notice the space created between the upper and bottom row of teeth. Let the healing energy flow into the face. Feel this energy as it spreads out across the face, smoothing all of your facial muscles out to the side, releasing any lines or creases that might exist in the face. Move the healing energy from the forehead into the scalp. Feel the energy as it washes throughout the entire scalp like warm water from a shower. Allow your scalp to loosen. Guide the healing energy from the back of the scalp into the back of the neck. Become aware of the small muscles in the back of the neck. Visualize the small muscles in the back of the neck softening. Continuing to let any residual stress in the neck fade away. Slowly guide the healing energy down the spine. Let it spiral in between the spaces of each of the vertebrae that make up your spine until eventually it reaches the base of the spine. Feel the energy radiate out from the center of the spine and flow across the middle of the back. Let the healing energy slide down into the lower back. And guide this energy up across the shoulder blades. Invite the energy to flow freely throughout the entire back, deeply massaging all of the muscles of the back, seeking out any knots that might exist within the muscles of the back, and rubbing those knots away. Relax your shoulder blades into the floor. Feel the support of the ground beneath you. Guide the healing energy up from the shoulder blades back to the tops of the shoulders. Once the energy is returned to the tops of your shoulders, let it slide into the upper arms, relaxing the muscles of the upper arms. Move the energy down to the elbows. Sense the spaciousness in each elbow joint. Move the energy through the forearms, into the wrist joints. Notice the spaciousness in each wrist joint. And finally, let the healing energy flow into the hands and collect in the center of the palms. Once you feel that you're holding this energy in both hands, send it out to your fingers. Become aware of each finger individually. As you bring your focus to a single finger, notice the knuckle joint within the finger. Sense the spaciousness within the knuckle joint of the individual finger. Give yourself a moment to do this with each finger. Then when you're ready, let the healing energy exit out through the fingertips, taking away with it any toxins or impurities from the body, leaving your entire body cleansed and deeply relaxed, and your own mind at peace, yet still awake and aware. And for the moment, you've chosen to train your concentration on a single point, which is your own relaxation. Let's take an active inhalation through the nose with a longer exhalation out through the nostrils. With the exhalation complete, I invite you to reopen your eyes as you stay relaxed and comfortable in Shavasana. Start to wiggle your toes, roll the ankles around, roll the entire legs in and out from the hips, and let the legs and feet rest. Move upward to the hands, wiggling the fingers again, returning circulation to the hands, and then let the hands rest. Walk the heels to the sit bones. Okay, so with both feet flat on the mat, raise your right arm overhead, let it rest on the ground behind you, and roll to your right side. We're gonna rest here on our right side for a few natural breaths. Pushing the left hand into the floor, you can sit yourself back up into a cross-legged position. Maybe you want to sit in Sukhasana, the easy seat that we started class with. If you prefer a different position like half lotus or lotus, that's fine too. And for our final meditation, we'll focus on our third eye, located in between the eyebrows and slightly above. So I invite you to place the hands on the knees if you'd like, palms turned down. If you like palms opened up to the ceiling, that's fine. Right now, I'm doing a mudra. You can do that too if you want by pressing the index finger and thumb together. Or another option is called a baker's bowl with one hand inside the other, palms turned upward to the ceiling, and your thumbs are touching. Sit tall, shoulders relaxed, and bring the awareness onto the third eye. So your Ajna chakra, or third eye, is an energy center. And we're going to try and train our mind to focus on just one point, one single thing. But you'll notice during the meditation, eventually your mind will move on to other thoughts. Whenever that's happened, gently bring the focus back to your third eye, in between the eyebrows and slightly above. And slowly returning your awareness to the room, take an active inhalation through your nose. Use a longer exhalation out through the nostrils. I invite you to open the eyes as you gaze softly at the floor in front of you. And we'll end with our namaste. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And if you can join me tomorrow or Thursday, that would be wonderful. All the best. Namaste.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you. Bye, Jane. Bye, Jane.
Bye.